Blessings, everybody. This is Dale. Thank you so much for joining with me today on the Word Podcast. We're continuing on in 2 Samuel. We're up to chapter 3 in the life of David. Verse 1 says this: Now there was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. And David grew steadily stronger, but the house of Saul grew weaker continually. So we saw in the previous couple episodes, in the previous chapter, how David had been made king over Judah, basically. And the Ishbosheth, one of Saul's sons, was the head of the house of Saul, was head over Israel. Now, verse 2. Sons were born to David at Hebron. And so what we're going to have here, these next, 3, 4, 5 verses, are the sons that David had while he was at Hebron. Now, how long was he at Hebron? Remember that? Wasn't it 7 years and 6 months? I think 7.5 years. So here they are. His firstborn was Ammon, A-M-N-O-N, Ammon, by Ahinoam the Jezreelite. Well, we've seen her several times. So that's his firstborn son. His second, Keliab, by Abigail, the widow of Nabal the Carmelite. Remember Nabal the fool? So that's his second son. His third son, Absalom. Oh, yeah, you've heard that one before, haven't you? Absalom, the son of Maacah, the daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. The fourth, Adonijah, the son of Haggith. And the fifth, Shephatiah, the son of Abitai. The sixth, Ephraim, by David's wife Eglah. These were born to David at Hebron. And so if I counted correctly here, you have 6 sons by 6 different women so far. Right, yeah. Now, verse 6. It came about that while there was war between the house of Saul and the house of David, that Abner was making himself strong in the house of Saul. We've already seen, the scriptures already told us that Abner was the one that was behind Ishbosheth being able to ascend to the throne after his father died. Now Abner is making himself strong in the house of Saul and the entirety of it. Verse 7. Well, before I get to 7, we're not told how he's doing that, what he's doing at the moment, that kind of stuff. But watch this. Verse 7. Now Saul, who's now dead, had a concubine whose name was Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, Why have you gone in to my father's concubine? So Abner had decided apparently to take advantage of the situation and had taken up with one of Saul's concubines. And we think, well, what's the big deal with that? Well, it is a show of force. It is a show of placement and status, the show of victory when you did that kind of thing. And now Ishbosheth, he's furious. Why have you gone into my father's concubine? Abner replies. Then Abner was very angry over the words of Ishbosheth and said, Am I a dog's head that belongs to Judah? Today I show kindness to the house of Saul your father, to his brothers and to his friends, and have not delivered you into the hands of David. And yet today you charge me with a guilt concerning the woman. Little testy here, is he not? So what's the idea? What's going on right here? Well, he's furious. He's angry. He's mad. And I don't know if he's mad because he's been confronted with this, but what does he say? He says, hey, am I as useful as a dog's head that belongs to Judah? Am I a nothing here? I'm the one that's been showing kindness to your house, to your father, your brothers, his friends. And you know what? I've shown that kindness by not delivering you over to David. And now you charge me with guilt concerning the woman? What's the deal with this? We're not told in the account here whether Abner had actually really done this or not. Okay, we're simply not told. But he is furious because Ishbosheth is accusing him of treason, accusing him of trying to do some chicanery or something. So he that's enough. He immediately decides he's going to change teams. Verse 9. May God do so to Abner and more also, if as the Lord has sworn to David, I do not accomplish this for him. So he's saying, what? You know what? I'm going to deliver the kingdom into David's hand. He said, verse 10, I want to transfer the kingdom from the house of Saul and to establish the throne of David over Israel and over Judah, from Dan even to Beersheba. So he had determined that he was going to go over on David's side, and he was going to take all of Israel with him, which gives us insight into how much power Abner had and how much power Ishbosheth did not, and how he was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So verse 11 continues. And he could no longer answer Abner a word because he was afraid of him. He was terrified of Abner. Abner, I mean, you live by the Abner, you die by the Abner is what it looks like. And so he couldn't respond to him. He didn't know what to do with him. So what does Abner do? Well, watch this, verse 12. Then Abner sent messengers to David in his place, saying, Whose is the land? Make your covenant with me, and behold, my hand shall be with you to bring all Israel over to you. And he said, so this is David said, good, I will make a covenant with you, but I demand one thing, namely, you shall not see my face unless you first bring Michal, Saul's daughter, when you come to see me. So David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, Saul's son, saying, give me my wife Michal, to whom I was betrothed for 100 foreskins of the Philistines. Ishbosheth took her from her husband, from Paltiel, the son of Laish. But her husband went with her, weeping as he went, and followed her as far as Bahurim. Then Abner said to him, go, return. So he went. So he messed up Ishbosheth big time. Abner is not going to hand the kingdom over to David. David says, that's great, but before I even see your face and talk to you, bring me back my wife. This is his first wife. He wanted her back. And guess what? He was getting her back. Well, we'll stop right here for today, and we'll see the rest of the story next episode. I'll see y'all then. Goodbye.